Good morning, I'm Nick Gowing. I have been an international broadcaster. I'm now founder and director of a project about thinking the unthinkable, and that's what many of you are here to do. I'd like to introduce immediately Jack Ma, and I'd like to introduce Jack to come up and join me on the platform. Good morning, Jack. You've flown in from the People's Republic of China. Thank you very much indeed. To take a seat here, because what we're going to do for the next hour is have a dialogue with Jack Ma, founder of Alibaba, which is bigger than Amazon now, an extraordinary operation which he created in his apartment about 20 years ago, and look where it is now. It's to inspire, but also to understand many of the challenges. And what I'd like, if I may, to underscore how we're going to move this forward this morning, I'd like you to feel part of the conversation. Jack, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask anyone in the audience as well if they want to intervene on the conversation. And maybe if we can do that by raising the lights so I can see you. I can see an awful lot of mobile phones, but if someone could put the lights on, then I have a chance of finding out who else would like to join the conversation, because at the moment it's a blur of dark colors and some heads which are shining. Not many, but some are shining. But I'm here really to make sure this is a conversation. And I think it's worth underscoring, Jack, that you've said that you want to write a book, which is Alibaba's 1001 Mistakes. Because it's easy to say to Jack, you're an extraordinary achiever with your co-founders and the enormity of what you've created, but it didn't come easily. There were many setbacks, and he wants to highlight that. And you've underscored very much that the bigger the company, the bigger the problems. You've said that time and time again. But we want to get, in the next 55 minutes, into understanding how you've also become a mentor for entrepreneurs. And there are many tensions that you have identified, and I'm underscoring this for the audience here, about the way in which technology is changing, about the way there's now a new line between people and machines. You've been saying we used to make people like machines. Now we must make machines like people. So I'm pushing you down the track of, I know where you want to go. The things we teach our kids, machines soon will do better, which creates an enormous educational challenge. And that's what Jack is now pioneering with his work in the People's Republic, but also around the world. And he underscored very much, this was in an interview he did back in May in Paris, he underscored exactly what you've just heard in the video. If you think the tech revolution is a problem, then I'm sorry to say the problem has only just started. If you think it's an opportunity, that opportunity has just started. And it's all about your mentality. If you worry, you're always going to worry, but don't think in that way. And what I'm doing, Jack, we weren't able to speak before we came on the platform. What I'm trying to do is set in context what we want to hear from you, not just about Ukraine, but about what you're seeing elsewhere. And I think it's important to underscore what the President has just said. Back on July the 29th, there was a presidential decree to boost e-government in this country, hopefully by having the first steps in place within 6 months, 11 clear steps. But we want to hear from you, I think, and I'm going to tell you how you can make your feelings clear to me about when you want to intervene. What we want to do is understand the complexion now of the digital space in which you have been operating, in which you have made an extraordinary success, well ahead of Amazon, but others are moving up as well. And I think it's important to underscore that Ukraine does not have the time to repeat the development paths of leaders. In fact, Ukraine needs to create its own transformational miracle. And I urge you to pick up what the President said, what we've seen on the video, even if you're not familiar totally with Ukraine, where there are still 3,500 state companies, where there's still that transition going from the Soviet era to where we are 28 years later. We want to understand the role of cooperation between the state and business in matters of digitization, to again build on that. Could I ask, please, the tech people, could we have the lights up? Because we have 50 minutes, 55 minutes, and I'd like to know who else wants to put questions. And at the moment, we can't really see anybody. So could someone put up some lights, please? There's someone there who is already using their own light, and they're putting up lights. That shows tech, low tech. Jack, welcome.
Thank you.
But the 1001 mistakes, what would you be saying in that book which you haven't written yet?
Well, first, you just say Ukraine cannot afford to copy the other country's success. I think no country can afford in today copy the other country, because we are entering into an area that's so new to anybody, to any country. I don't believe they're expert of future. There's only expert of yesterday. As entrepreneur, we believe in future. I'm very happy to hear President said, invest in the people. Invest in the SMEs, small business. Invest in the young people. Invest in the small business. This is the key. Last century, because of the industrial revolution, so the bigger the better. Next century, the smaller the better. The flexible is better. Last century, people say, you are big. So big is the standard. Next century is good. If you're a good company, you'll be good. Good company does not mean you have to be big.
How do you define a good company?
Good company is a company, you don't have to be big, because the bigger you are, the bigger problem you are. The good company means you take care of your employees, you take care of customers, you are respected, not because you're rich. We find we have a lot of people who are rich but not respected, right? When you do things, you should be happy. Your employees are happy. Your customers are happy. Society are happy. This is the key. So not necessarily you're big, I'm rich. No, rich means nothing.
But you created a company, an enormous organization. Do you regret having created a big organization then?
Yeah, if I could be able to try again, I would try to make my company not that big size. Unfortunately, it's growing so fast, so I tried to make a big size but good company.
But should you have said stop? Is there a time when you should have, was that a mistake?
I tried to stop, but later I said, well, it's impossible to stop. Because I think with the technology, with the ideas, with the terrible experience we had, we can enable many, many small business. They are on the way to tomorrow. With our tough 20 years experience, we can share those experience, those mistakes with those entrepreneurs on the way.
Now, you have created and been lecturing yourself at your own business school for sustainability in China. I think it's been going 3 years. And you've emphasized where people have failed. Actually, I'd like to suggest to you experimented, but it hasn't worked. Failure sounds too negative. What kind of examples are you using about which suggest and make it clear the kind of traps that those out there can fall into?
Well, only when you give up, it's a failure. If you don't give up, it's just a mistake. Mistake is the best fertilizer for tomorrow's success. I think for a company like Alibaba, people say, hey guys, you're so lucky in 20 years. You have achieved that much. Yes, we're lucky, but we worked very hard. We made more mistakes than anybody can imagine. We made mistake on raising capital, we made mistake on management, and we made mistakes on HR, we made mistake a lot of areas. But we
Tell us more about those mistakes, Jack.
For example, when we don't have money, we don't make big mistakes. When I raised the $5 million US, I think, wow, I'm rich. So I tried to hire a lot of higher ranking people from those Fortune 500. When I hire them, I know something rough. For example, I want to make a marketing plan for my product. So I asked my VP of marketing. He said he made a plan for $30 million. And I said, I only have $5 million. He said, Jack, I have never made any marketing plan below $20 million. So how could you succeed? And I think, wow, it's my problem. when your company is only a poor tractor, don't try to buy a Boeing 747 engine in it. Because it's not the Boeing engine problem, it's your problem. We are not ready. Don't think great people always in your company. Those people believe in you, those people following you, you should spend the time training them, working with them, and develop them with them together, invest in them, and then the company grows. This is a lesson I learned.
And you mentioned HR problems as well. You have an enormous operation. I mean, when it was so different from when you were in your apartment 20 years ago.
Yeah.
What were the HR problems which overwhelmed you?
Well, a lot of people want to have a quick success. They try to headhunting people, right? I want to get that guy, I want that guy. I want to win the competition. If you want to win the competition always in your mind, you're a professional killer. You're not the guy thinking about developing a company. So I was a teacher. I had no experience of marketing. I don't know anything about technology. I don't know anything about accounting, actually. So I know as a teacher, the best way is to find the good students. Find the people who are better than you are. Find the people who are smart you are. Believe in your students are smarter than you are. So past 20 years, I try my best to be a good teacher. I call myself CEO, Chief Education Officer. I learned from a teacher. Thank you. A good teacher always hope that his students do better than him. A good teacher feel proud. This student become a TV anchor. This student become a banker. That student become a mayor. No teacher wants this guy bankrupt, that student in jail. Nobody wants that. So if you want your students to do better, you should give them more chance. You should trust them. You should give them opportunities. So from what I learned from my HR, I trust my people. Even to today, I give my advice to those young leaders. When they hire people, the advisor, hire the people. If you think this guy, in 5 years, he will be a boss, hire him.
Now, Jack, there are parallel challenges between what you've faced in the People's Republic of China, where there are an enormous number of state enterprises, and there remain a significant number of state enterprises here. And one part of our discussion has to be about how you transfer, how you translate that state mentality into what you're saying.
Well, this world, we got so many complaints. And as entrepreneur, we love other people complain, we never complain. We think the opportunity only lies in the place where people complain. I found a lot of people complain about SOE, state-owned enterprise. They are so big, they're so powerful. For me, we are so tiny. Why should we worry about it? There are plenty of room. When I'm big enough, I think we still should not complain. We compete with them. We prove to the society that we are more efficient. We prove to society we can do better. And this is what I'm doing. And complaining is so easy. Everywhere in this world, the thing worry about me is so many young people complaining. Complaining, you listen. If you solve the way complain, you solve the problem. So SOEs, state-owned business, they are big, they are everywhere. But you see, they're shrinking. They focus on tiny things. For us, the market is so big.
So what will you be telling the president?
Well,
on this particular issue?
My advice to the country, to the people, is that develop private sectors. Trust entrepreneurs. And I think there are a lot of SOE leaders in China. They are great entrepreneurs. They have more problems. They have to care more than we do. They take more responsibility than we do. And when you are small, think about how you survive, how you develop, how you can put your people, customer first. Do not think about those guys, big. When I was young, I hate Microsoft, IBM, Oracle, these big companies. And I then
I think, well,
What do they think of you now?
they're probably scared of us. But this is why this is the chance for everybody. And I hope someday more young people think, we will defeat Alibaba. We will do better. If we give us time, if we give us a chance, we don't complain, we improve, they have the chance.
So how do you develop the innovative ecosystem, the speed that is necessary, given the enormity of change, which the video really emphasized in a way that certainly our project is underscoring, thinking the unthinkable, the speed at which things are happening, the level of disruption. How do you create a self-confident, innovative ecosystem which can capitalize on digitization?
People and demanding. First, as entrepreneur, you should foresee the future. If you know the technology is coming, you cannot stop it, embrace it.
But many think it's not going to affect me. It's an unthinkable. We would say it's unpalatable. You're turning blind eyes. You're assuming that the way it's been is the way it's going to be.
Well, I think you worry too much. As entrepreneur, we believe the future. I know if I cannot be there, somebody will be there. If I cannot be there, I hire people who can be there. If I'm not smart enough, I follow the people who are smarter than I am. So I'm not the guy worry too much about future. I worry a lot about the people's worry. Today, the biggest worry is the worry itself. You worry about the privacy, you worry about security, you worry about the government, worry about SOEs. What to worry about? You worry, it comes. You don't worry, it comes. As an entrepreneur, let's do. There are so many things you can do. I got millions of challenges. When I started my business in 1999, people say, hey, Jack, you don't have money? Yeah, no, I don't have money. You don't have technology? We don't have technology. You don't have the credit system? We don't have a credit system. You don't have the logistic. You don't have a payment. You don't have this and that. I say, if everything's ready, there's no chance for me.
Let me ask you, Jack, what's your definition of the future? I'm going to be not facetious, but pragmatic here. People say, let's think about 2030. Well, I'd put to you that 2030 is 10 hours from now. In other words, the future is happening much quicker than anyone really wants to imagine. Do you think that this is a serious mindset, culture problem?
Yeah. First, I think in the future, 2030, there will be more rich company. There will be more rich people. The country will have, the world will have a lot of challenges, but those people, tell me, any society, any time, any period of the world, there is no challenges.
But what about the argument that AI, algorithms, are going to hollow out the middle class by removing a lot of jobs that have been assumed to be there into infinity, because the nature of that work is being done by machines?
No, because when you don't know about AI, when you hear too much movie stories by AI, you start to worry. Why you worry? Because you don't know it. I think people worry about when the first technology revolution come to the world, we worry about machine. Last century, we worry about electricity. Today, we worry about AI. What is AI? AI, artificial intelligence, do you think we human beings only know less than 7% of our brain? And less than 7% of the brain, do you think we can create a machine that kill people? Impossible. Human beings should have confidence. Machine only have chips. Human beings have a heart. The heart you can never create. Machine we can replace some part of our brain. Machine can never replace your heart. Trust me that it will take a lot of jobs, but it will create more jobs. But maybe you are not competent. You're not good for that jobs. Somebody will. And I think, let me tell you, that when people worry about, in our company we do not call it artificial intelligence, we call ourselves Alibaba intelligence. We think it's a great thing. I said yesterday in a university that my grandfather work 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. He said, oh, I'm very busy. We people work 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. We are very busy. Let me tell you, my grandson, he will work 3 hours a day, 3 days a week. He will tell you he's very busy. Machine will make us doing that. And you should have when you believe in the future is good, you will do good things for the future. When you believe a bad future is bad, your mentality is in trouble. And then you will be upset. How can be a person upset, be creative? I just cannot imagine.
I've got to pick you up on that, Jack, because earlier this year you talked about in support of the 996 work routine. And I've got to underscore to those who don't know it, particularly in China, you work 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. And you were given a hard time because of that. And you backed off a little bit.
No. 996 is the spirit that I encourage in Alibaba people. If you want to have a bright future, if you don't want to be give up by the society, if you want to be successful, you have to work hard. Of course, you can enjoy life. You know, I work only 2 hours a day. And
can you enjoy life with a 996 regime?
Yes, I do. I do.
Do other people in Shenzhen and elsewhere?
I think most of the people in this world, whether they're a great president, whether they're a good professor, or a good engineer, a good scientist, or a good anchor, like you work much more than you do. When I have a shower, I think, I work. When I'm in the toilet, I think. When I'm running, I think. We never stop working. Because today, why Alibaba need to 996? Because we, on our side, we have more than 60 million business rely on us. If we don't work hard, they lose their hope. So we have to work hard. But if you don't like your job, if you don't like the work you do, working 2 hours a day, you feel very bad. If you love your jobs, people like me, if I love the job I'm doing, I love the things I'm doing, 10 hours a day, 15 hours a day, it's nothing. This is how you view the world. As an entrepreneur, when I was tiny, I thought, one day I'll become a big boss. I take cigar, watch movie, business easy. I should make my company bigger. Now my company is much bigger. I'm much busier, more problems. So enjoy while you are small. Big company does not mean money big. Big company means big responsibility. You take care of your more employees, more customers, more social responsibilities. Oh, I do regret. I could enjoy my life much better. But, this is my life. I have to live it.
I've got to tell you, in the media, it can be not 996, but 12-12-7. So I warn you, we work even harder than that sometimes. Now,
see? A lot of people just don't want to admit it. Everybody try to speak the things that people want to hear. But as entrepreneur, if you want to be the mentor, tell them the truth. Life is not easy.
Now, what I want to do, Jack, is open it up. And what I want to do is make sure there are 4 microphones. Where are the ladies who've got the microphone? I can see your light here. Where are the ladies with the microphones? Please come forward, because I need to know where you are. Okay, one there, one here. Where's the second and third and fourth? Can I have some more light in the room, please? And I'm preparing, because can you help me? There's a gentleman here, 4 or 5, and they're all using their phones to tell me where they are. Can you come in and get a microphone here? Thank you. Let's have some more light. And over here as well, someone here. But I want to position the microphones and move around fast. And Jack, do you have a headset? Do you have translation or not?
Yeah, I think some...
Could we get a translation? Because, Jack, I want to talk about education, but I want to make sure that we're lining up a lot of questions here. Jack, let's have a headset if we can. For the first question, let's do it in English if we can, but that's not to rule out anything else. You need to go to channel 2 when we do that. But I want to finally ask you before I open it up, because I want to show we are opening it up for the next 35 minutes. I want to ask you about education and the work you're doing on this. You've stepped back from Alibaba, but you've created a structure, you've created a process, you've created a momentum, and particularly for the next generation. So what is the principle you're trying to highlight at the moment? Why at the age of 55, okay, you've stepped back, but you've still got a job you feel that needs to be done in this scale of disruption?
Yeah, I've been doing in the past 20 years on internet. And I find the more internet help people, the more people start to worry. For example, artificial intelligence is going to replace a lot of jobs. And I suddenly realized that most of the things and the way we teach our kids in the schools are for the industrial period. In the future, the artificial intelligence will make machine much smarter. Machine can remember more, remember accurate, machine can never get tired. So everything we teach, most of the things we teach our kids, machine can do better. So what education we should give our kids that they will be able to do the things better than machine?
And what's your answer?
Creative, constructive, I think very important, innovative, independent thinking. When there are so many opinions on the internet, people lose their independent thinking. And we should make our kids to be more creative. I saw so many young people in Ukraine. I went to the university yesterday. Excellent, intellectual. But staying in the university is important. But people like us, we are not good at academic. We try every day. We learn from the society. We learn from the mistakes. We learn from our partners, learn from our employees and customers and competitors. And that will make you innovative, creative, constructive. So this is something I want to do something to help our next generation. They are never scared of artificial intelligence, never scared of robots. They can do things that robots cannot do. Second thing, I think today the whole world looks like we put too much money, resources on university, master degree, PhD degree. But I think we should put more resources on the primary school, middle school, kindergartens. And then it's too late in the university. So this
how
is what
do you change the curriculum for that generation, the under 10s, the under 12s, those who are not at university? How do you change the curriculum? Because I've got to put to you that that's tough in the education world.
I know, but we see a lot of countries start to moving that. In Israel, Finland, Japan, a lot of countries start to do that. I think before 12, music is important. Sports, teamwork is important. Painting is important. And I think make people like a people. We should not make people like a machine learning. I mean, like a machines. They only absorb knowledge. They should try knowledge. I see a lot of people in this world have excellent knowledge, but they just don't know how to use it. I don't have a lot of knowledge, but I use them very well.
But let me put to you about quantum. Google have just done an experiment where they achieved in 3 seconds calculations which would have taken 10,000 years. That's coming down the track pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Where does that leave the human being and the next generation?
Well, let's do the other. Industrial period, human being look at the outside world, right? We love Mars and moons, but this century, we will know the inside world better. The quantum speed, we know the outside world so much, but we don't know the inside world. This is the speed, the data. We have to know our human. Last century, we made so many smart and clever people. This century, we should create a lot of wise people. What's the difference between clever and wise?
But is something like the quantum computer or AI going to be smarter than the human being?
We will be able to decoding the human, the human secret. We always try to understand the outside secret, but we don't understand the inside secret. The quantum speed will make people understand us. So I want to say, we have a lot of smart people. Smart people know what they want. Wise people know what they don't want.
What about the computer which tells you...
So computing will let you know all the things you're looking for. This is not what you want. Computing, quantum computing, to me, it's like let the young people try it. The most dangerous thing is not a machine. The most dangerous is the greedy of people. The most dangerous thing is not AI. It's nuclear bombs. It's the greedy. So we should use the technology, understand the people, understand ourselves better. Don't worry about too much about technology. There is no way. Maybe you don't have a solution. I don't have a solution, but our young people have a solution. We don't have a solution today. Future, we have a solution. So I think, again, trust our young people. Trust the future. And let's do something. And this is why entrepreneurs are important. That's what I say. Government, lots of government start to worry people. Academic, worry people. We want to solve the worries. I'm sorry.
Right, there you have your set. Right, now I can get the questions. Now, there are rules here, which is don't talk for a long time, because I'll cut you off. And I want to get as many ideas as possible. And do I have 4 microphones in the room or 2? Because I'd like the second microphone to come over here, please. Can you choose yourself? Right, please.
Jack,
could you introduce yourself?
I'm Volodymyr Panchenko. I'm an economic analyst and also the speaker of this forum. I watched many of your speeches on YouTube, and I have not found one question which maybe you don't like now. You always explain about entrepreneurship, but we know that Alibaba achieved success also due to government actions of discrimination of Amazon and other platforms, and digital protectionism continues, and in the future...
Okay, quick please.
So the question, what do you think it helped you? And the other question, Ukraine is a small market as compared to China. What is the government's role in digital development of Ukraine?
I want to get as many questions in as possible, Jack.
Okay, first, give me one example that China government helped me fight against my competitors with Amazon, eBay. I'm probably famous in China for fighting with government. I fight with any ministry. And I think internet is new to any government. So my job is to convincing, educate, work with the government, hear what they worry, and let them know what I worry. We kick eBay out of China. It's not government kick eBay out of China. Amazon was there 20 years ago. They were here today. I talked to Jeff Bezos like 10 years ago. I said, Jeff, you sent a lot of people coming to China, but these people make boss happy, not make the customer happy. You should send entrepreneurs coming to China, make people happy, not the boss happy. That's my advice.
Jack, you used the word twice, fight. What do you mean by fight?
Well, if you think it is good for the future, if it is good for the government or for the people, and the government officials don't understand that, fight for it. Tell them. Today, most of the government officers in China, they're young people. Listen to them, communicate with them, stick to the ideas. When they say, this is the rule, okay, we follow the rule.
Right.
But before they make the rule, we fight for it.
There are many people here. We could be here for a long time, but I'm going to be as selective as I can and as fair as I can. Please, at the back. There's a lady, who's got the microphone right at the back? Okay, well, you go ahead. Okay, please, right at the back.
Доброе утро. Good morning. So, dear Jack Ma, would you please name several points which have formed you as a human being up to 35 years old, up until you created Alibaba? Because those points have made you as a human being with a capital letter H, whom we see on the stage today. Thank you.
I think I'm understanding that. What kind of points before you were 35 prepared you for the success you've had?
Okay. Well, as you know that I tried a lot of jobs, all failed, and I tried to university field, and I find that if nobody hire me, I should hire myself. And before 35, I don't have any chance, or there is no success cases in me, but this helped me.
Were you a failure?
I was. And I am, I don't know, in the future, because you never know you will succeed or not until the day you die. You will check the balance. I'm too young to say I'm failed or successful. I'm trying all the time. But let me tell you, 35, I still worry about the future. And now I'm still worried about the future. But I know worry is not enough, and you have to try the future. And I don't know, it's not me, it's the people.
All right, I want gender equality in this room. Please, can you move the microphone across to the lady first? Yeah, please. Thank you. Even though there's not gender equality on the platform, I'm sorry. Please, go ahead.
Mr. Jack, good morning. I'm Yana Pedlisna. I work in the State Finance Institution for Innovations, Ministry of Economic Development and Trade of Ukraine. And my question, what do you think? Innovation is a problem or solution? Thank you.
Can I ask you first, do you think your ministry is now being innovative enough? You can...
Yes, because, my ministry, the best ministry in Ukraine, because we have a lot of very creative people.
I say that because you can call yourself innovation, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's easy. Jack.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think innovation is absolutely the solution for future. And I have confidence in Ukraine. From the university I visited from these 2 days, you guys are so good, very knowledgeable. The only thing is leave the academic, leave the school, go try. Try the mistake. The more mistakes you have, the more experience you have.
But how innovative does an innovation ministry have to be?
Innovation ministry, your job is not you to be innovative. Your job is to find innovative ways to empower the other people to be more innovative. This is very important. Think about what kind of ways you can inspire people, business. They can be more creative, more innovative. I find a lot of government officers try to be innovative themselves. No, this is not the way. The way is, how can I make him happier? How can I make him be more creative? How can I make him more constructive? How can I make him be strong when he faces the challenges? This is what the ministry, make the policies right. Make the policy that can inspire people.
Because you know what it's like in ministries. If you get too innovative or too maverick, then you are sidelined. You are seen as someone whose career should not go any further. How do you inspire within a bureaucratic system?
Change the system. Well, company like us, the only thing you win because we change our system to making sure our customers can be more creative. Our small business can benefit from e-commerce. So if you don't like there's a way. If you like your ministry, join the ministry, helping others. If you don't like the ministry, either you don't join the ministry, or you join the ministry, change the ministry. There's no other solutions, right?
All right, well, it's a pity the president isn't here about changing the system. And the Prime Minister will be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to leave that hanging, just change the system. Let me go to the back there, please.
And by the way,
Good morning,
There's another lady over there, please.
Yes, thank you. My name is Alena Korolenko. I'm the owner of firm Agora International, and I have a question regarding, in your opinion, what is more important, to invest in employees' MBAs or in development of their soft skills? And also, do you use any coaching techniques in your company, and which of them do you think are really working? Thank you.
Could I ask you before you
Sure.
hand the microphone on, do you find value in those who come to you with MBAs?
Not always. That's why I'm
That's why
asking.
you're asking the question, Jack.
Well, honestly, I don't like a lot of MBA schools, and I don't encourage my people to study MBAs. I sent a lot of excellent young people in early days of Alibaba to MBAs. They were so smart before I sent them. When they came back, they're not smart. Let
Hang
me
on.
tell you one thing that is very important.
Did everyone hear that? When you sent them to the MBA, they were smart.
Yeah.
When they came back, they were not so smart.
Yeah.
Good.
They start to think this is a book set, because the MBAs, they focus too much on successful stories. Business is like a battlefield. When you do business, you have to learn the mistake the other people do. If you learn too many successful stories, you think success is so easy, so simple. When you know there's a lot of people, the world, those people who fail, always the same reasons. Those people who succeed, there are a lot of reasons. So learn from the other people's mistakes. That will make you more powerful, that will make you more knowledgeable. I don't like so many schools, MBA schools, just to give in so many cases. I just waited for one more minute about that. It's serious. One of the very famous universities, MBA university, came to Alibaba early days. They said, we want to write a case study for Alibaba. They spent 1 week. They studied here, then they came to me and said, Jack, this is case study. I read it. I said, no, this is not me. They said, no, it's you. I said, no, it's not our company. He said, no, you don't realize it's your company. Then he asked me to sign, and I signed it because maybe I don't know who I am, so I signed it. Later years, there is a case study of that in many schools, and every year I was invited to the school to listen to the MBA case study. They always put a competitor of and Alibaba. After class, every time they voted, Alibaba will fail, competitor will win. But every year, we win, competitor die. So, don't trust that, right?
Okay, well,
Trust the innovative ideas.
I ought to ask you if there's anyone from a business school who wants to defend MBAs here and their revenue streams. Is there anyone? Put up 2 hands. Are you from a business school?
Actually, I'm not.
Well, okay, well, I'll come to you.
But I have a question.
Okay, well, if anyone from a business school really wants to defend MBAs, now's the moment, please.
Yes. Hello, Mr. Ma. My name is Anton Artamonov. I'm from KPMG. Actually, KPMG named you a top 3 entrepreneur. Apart from that, I share your passion for Chen Shi Taizi Chuan. And my teacher is a personal disciple of Chen Yu. Can you tell us how Chen Shi Taizi Chuan helped you in your business and basically become who you are? Many people just don't know about this.
All right, thank you. Please, move the microphone to the gentleman with the light in front, please. You take the microphone next, please, Jack.
Yeah, Tai Chi, what is a Tai Chi Chuan is a philosophy, and Tai Chi Chuan is a way of martial arts. And what I learned that is soft and hard and a balance when you know when to give up, when to insist. So I learned a lot from that. It's a great philosophy. Thank you.
Please, the lady there.
OK， 马云先生你好，大家很高兴有机会看到你来乌克兰。I switch to English, OK. I represent Ukrainian Sinologist Association. It's a group of people really working hard to make Chinese-Ukrainian relationship stronger. And without government support, it's really impossible. and government has a strategy how to develop economy. Unfortunately, at the moment, Ukrainian-Chinese relationship, it's not really developed. That's why investment in a very low level. Can you have any message to our present President Zelensky about that? Because everybody's really worried. China is economy #1 in the world. #2, sorry, it's my forecast. #2 in the world. Thank you.
Jack.
Yeah, I think you have a brilliant president. He's young, passionate, and you have a young government, and he's just been president for a few months, right? So give him some chance and time. What he said, I love it. Invest in the people, invest on the future, and invest in SME. This is very important for China-Ukraine relationship. And I admire Ukraine for a long, long time. This is my first trip in Ukraine. You guys are so lucky. Beautiful land, intelligent man, beautiful women. How could in this world there was such great combination, right? And you know that the people, normally those people who handsome, they're not clever. People like me, ugly, but we know something, right? But this nation, such colorful history. So I think China, Ukraine would definitely work more. I'm thinking about inviting many of my business friends come to Ukraine. Opportunities here. And your system, your young government, and your people, and your land. Huge potential.
I should say...
I'm not speaking like a politician. I speak like a business people.
I should tell you there are a lot of energetic people who want to ask questions, but Johan Eliash, who's going to be on the next panel, the CEO of HEAD, when they announced they were investing in Ukraine, said, and I was going to say this later, I believe that Ukraine offers the best opportunities for competitive manufacturing in this part of the world, even better than in China.
Possible.
Well, we'll hear from him in a moment. Who else has got the microphone, please?
Hello.
Where are you? Well, speak.
Natalia Mykolska. Stanford University, former trade minister of Ukraine. I'm a big believer in Ukraine, in innovation and international trade. And I would like to ask a question about trade war and technology war between US and China. Definitely it affects your business, but I believe that's a chance for Ukraine. That's the first question. And the second question, just to deliberate on what you said about opportunities in Ukraine. What would make you invest in Ukraine? Not just look at the opportunities.
Okay, thank you. Well, I'm a believer of trade, and I'm a believer of free trade. And unfortunately today, the world, people seems that don't like trade a lot. And this is the job that people like us should fighting for. And I try my best. And I think the China-US trade war, the trade problems, is going to be solved. But we should not, when trade stops, the war starts. Trade is something, it's not you're buying things from others, you are respecting the other culture. Because you love the other culture, you start to trade. So I, as the person doing entrepreneur, and I understand, government, they love each other's group. But the most important is business love each other. People love each other. People love the other companies, other countries' products. So I don't have any problem fighting for that.
Do you think politicians are out of touch with what with what the people want? They want free trade, but the politicians seem to have a rather different view that it's going to protect jobs as opposed to create jobs.
I'm not a politician. I cannot speak for them. I'm a normal people. I'm a business people.
But geopolitics affects you as a businessman.
Yes, there are a lot of things affects me, politician and policies. But my job is, before this thing happens, we should go convincing and talk. If that fails, we should never fail to continue to fight. So this is what I think. The world needs trade. The world needs respect. As the Ukraine, I think I love the people here. It's the intellectual people.
It's openness of this country, the culture. And you people, you believe the future. You are making the changes. As I said, the ministry, never in the world. Very few countries I go there is a ministry of innovation and love to change. And you never see a government that president 41 years old, prime minister 35 years old. A lot of ministers like 28. They don't have experience. Tell me who has experience of the future? Nobody has experience of future. We think is that let's fight for the future. Let's make experience for the future. So I think I like the culture here and the people.
The lady there.
Hello.
Mr. Ma, my name is Taras. I represent DCH Group. The question is, what is your vision of the role of the banks in future and how they will transform, in which part of value chain they will come?
The role of banks.
Yes, exactly.
Or funders and private equity. In other words, you said that you made a lot of mistakes with funding and financing. What do the banks and the financial institutions need to understand about that?
Well, let me tell you, banks' business is going to be tough. It's going to be tougher and tougher. Because traditional banks, they have the license. And they're supporting big companies easier. But in the future, banks should supporting small business. Bank should support individual, young people. And that is the skills that traditional banks don't have. But today, because of the data, because of the internet, new banks will come. Let me tell you one thing.
Well, you are a bank. Alibaba's got a bank.
We are not a bank. We try to help banks. Let me tell you one thing. This is very serious. The world, because of the technology revolution, a lot of things will change. The thing will change is a lot of system. Trading system is going to change. Trade will change. Banking, financing will change. A lot of logistics will be changed. It's opportunity for everybody. The good news or the bad news is all the banks will face challenges.
But they're facing them already. These are existential challenges.
It's just the beginning. I'm sorry to say, it's just the beginning. Try to change, embrace the technology. Try to focus your eyes from big companies to small companies, to the successful people, to the young people. This change, take the technology, try to change yourself, not to change the customers. Impossible. Change yourself to meet the needs of small, young, tiny. That's no chance.
Is that the advice you're giving to banks?
Yes.
Are they adapting fast enough?
I have successfully convinced a lot of banks in China, and I'm trying to convince more banks.
They see you as a threat.
Pardon?
Outside of China, they see you as a threat.
Yeah. Well, when you tell them, when you really show the technology, when you really show the people start, for example, the mobile phone payment, banks, they hate it, but people love it. Banks should be inclusive. Last century, banks support big people. Credit cards support successful people. Today, mobile phone payment support poor people, young people, bottom up, inclusive. Only inclusive, only empower the others, you have chance. If you want, the IT make you powerful. The DT empower others. So banks should think about how you can empower small business, young people to be able to.
So there's a clear message for bankers in the room, please. We've got 5 minutes to run. I'm going to extend it a little bit, please.
Thank you, Nick. Dear Jack, I work for YouFuture Group. We are a group of Ukrainians. Exactly 1 year ago, we visited Alibaba headquarters in your beautiful city. We have had a lecture about your progress, and I have two questions. First, everybody knows that you are English teacher, but nobody knows that, not so many people know that you are a serial entrepreneur. You started with a translation agency, very tiny business. You've been making excursions for foreigners. Then the second business you have had was Yellow Pages. You run a business of Yellow Pages, and now you are world known, probably the most important global Asian entrepreneur on the world stage. With the Silicon Valley idols, you are the only one from Asia.
Question, please.
The question is, what is the substance which goes through all these businesses throughout your career? From translation agency to Alibaba.
Okay,
What
right,
is the substance? And the second question.
No, one will do.
Okay.
One will do.
I think
There's a theme there. What's the theme of your success, your DNA, even though you've had some very serious setbacks?
curiosity and spirit of never give up and trust people. Curiosity for the future, spirit of don't give up, and trust people.
Do you trust people you fight with, though?
Yes, because they don't know I fight. If they know, they don't want to give up, they don't want to change, then I encourage more other people.
Okay, who, at the back, please. Lady at the back, I'm coming to you. Yes, you've got the microphone, go.
Hello, Mr. Ma. I'm Oksana Stechina from one of the biggest advertising group of Ukraine. Nice to meet you first. And regarding the question of curiosity, what are the future of communication? What advertising tools would be relevant in the new era, in your opinion? Thank you so much.
Can I say this is something that Jack Segela is going to address in the next session, so maybe be a little briefer on that. We're going to discuss that in the next session, quickly.
Yeah, the advertisement, you have to think about how you can help those companies, how this advertising can help consumers instead of just making money, create value.
Follow up right here. Пан Джекман, я хотів вам зробити
Mr. Ma, I wanted to ask you how you evaluate your employees in your company and how you identify the potential employees that will grow inside of your company. So how you evaluate the employees and how you identify the potential growers.
HR mistakes, Jack.
Yeah, we evaluate our employees by value and results. Both are very important.
How do you define value?
We have 6 values. In Alibaba, every 6 values, every quarter, we value everybody. We
Is that
review
money?
everybody.
Is that value, financial value?
It's not financial value, it's the performance results value. And then the performance. If you're good value and performance, and then we will upgrade you to the leaderships. The leadership value system, review system. So we have a whole system to train developing people. This is what I'm good at.
Over there, the gentleman there, you've got the microphone, please. Yes. No, wait a minute, behind you, I'm sorry. He's been very insistent since the beginning.
So, hello, my name is Olga. I am the micro-entrepreneur, and for the last 9 years I deal with charity. Would you please tell what is the best way for the development to develop in Ukraine, to develop abroad, or should I still become a financially successful entrepreneur and then I should help people? What's the way for the development?
Make yourself successful. Make yourself make money and then help other people. A lot of people, they don't know how to successful. They try to teach people how to be successful. This is no good.
Mr. Gower.
But Jack, wait a minute.
Mr. Gower.
Whoa. But there is an important principle here. Things are changing in the corporate world. The principle of purpose and values. In other words, it's not just about making money, it's about making money in a different way, which rewards and looks after those who are giving you the money as opposed to just taking it.
Absolutely. Let me tell you, a lot of public people and government, they think business is just for making. You are too greedy. You people, entrepreneurs, business people, no, people like us. One of the reasons why Alibaba grew that fast, past 20 years, let me tell you, in my company for past 20 years, I never spent a half an hour discussing how to make money. Half an hour. We discuss about how we can help people, small business, how we can solve the problems. This is as the CEO and chairman to do that.
But if you didn't make money, you couldn't survive.
And if you really do things proper, the money will come. If you're looking for money, business people, let me give you one advice. If you only think about money, this
is US dollar, this is RMB, you talk about UK pounds, nobody want to make friends with you. If you don't have friends, you don't have business. So think about it, how you can help people. Your action will change, your eyes will change, and then people start to work with you. Very important. If you want to be big, support more people.
One more, please.
马老师你好。I represent 7K Express International, and I have a question for you. What are the main conditions for smooth Ukraine-China export in e-commerce? 请让我用中文再重复一遍。作为面向乌克兰做中乌出口的跨境电商，在乌克兰先决条件是什么？目前乌克兰的条件是否可以已经符合中乌跨境电商的平台或通道
So he wants to know that how can improving the Ukraine e-commerce with China. I was very disappointing, and I will go back and ask my team, although I'm not the chairman, I will check. From AliExpress come to Ukraine takes about 47 days. I just can't believe this. I will go back. This is like in last century. We will improve it. Logistics is important. Payment is important. And internet is important. These are three things if Ukraine wants to develop. Infrastructure of internet capacity, logistics, and e-payment, and entrepreneurs. If the four things are ready, I think Ukraine has a huge potential on internet.
Jack, you can see an enormous number of people out there, but where are you?
We've been waiting here.
No, I know a lot of people are waiting,
Right here.
Where are you?
Right here.
Yeah, there.
Mr. Ma, hi. Peter Zalmayev, Prямой TV channel, and I mean, we heard an optimistic note here from the president about the investment opportunities, etc. But we all know that freedom of press is extremely important to the development of a healthy business environment. And there have been problems with the new government and its tolerance of free press, of criticism. And I know China has also had its share of problems when it comes to free press, freedom of expression. How important do you think it is to be able to express one's opinions freely for the development of healthy business environment? Thank you.
Because that's what you have very significantly in China with Weibo and so on. You have an enormous capacity to talk and to communicate.
Well, it depends what do you want to do. People like me, in the company, we have a lot of people want to free talk and this and that. And I say, we earn the right to speak. And the next thing I wanted, giving the people like entrepreneurs, we always see the good side, enlarge the good side, and we shorten the weak side. So, to me, I think a business on the internet and the whole world, in any country, there are so many opportunities. If you want to focus on this side, and then be a politician. People like me, I focus on business. I want to empower people. I want to enrich people. I want to inspire those entrepreneurs. So I think this is more important for me.
Does politics get in the way of that?
Yeah, that thing, I'm not expert of politician. I'm not expert of channel, TV guys. You guys fighting for that. I'm fighting for economy.
Okay.
This is how I am.
Right. We're overrunning, Jack, but there are a couple of things I just need to raise with you very sharply at the moment. You are a member of the UN Secretary General's high-level panel on digital cooperation. There is a significant fear, and including from Facebook and other big organizations, that there has to be some kind of regulation of the digital space. What is your view on this, particularly, and you need to tell us just how many times you've been hit at Alibaba, how much cybersecurity is paramount to your survival, but the real threat. So final thoughts, please, on digital cooperation, but also tell us about the number of times you're hit a day at Alibaba.
Yeah, every day we have 300 million hits from hackers to our site.
300 million?
300 million. Every day. But which is good, where we are empowering our capability of facing these challenges. I think we are all excited. All the hackers start to attack. We get experience, share with the experience.
And have any of them got through?
No, we are so far so good. We have such billions or trillions of transactions on our site. We are dealing with that. And the second thing I want, yes, the government, government love to make policy to control. Business like us, we don't want the government to take too much policies to control.
But there needs to be regulation.
There need to be. Smart time need smart regulations, need smart policies. And the policies should not be given by government, should be working together with private sectors, public sectors, working together. Let's find a smart solution.
But do you think governments can move fast enough and smartly enough? Governments move slowly. The UN moves even more slowly. Yet the immediate challenge is now because of the threat and the credibility of
They
the
will.
system. They will.
They will, because this is why I love to see so many government, and I hope we will move government to e-government. E-government will make the government very transparent. E-government will no corruption. E-government will make things more efficient. So I think e-government, entrepreneurs, education, infrastructure. These are the 4 very important factors for any countries. If you want your people to be rich, if you want your country on the right direction, these are 4 E's.
Jack, I'm afraid we've got to conclude the conversation now. I'm sorry, there are so many hands going up, but you can work out the mathematics. It's impossible to get to all of you. But thank you for all those excellent questions. No, I'm sorry, we're out. I know you've been waiting, but a lot of other people are waiting as well. It would be unfair. But can I thank you enormously for coming here to KIEF and for sharing it in a very open way. The challenges that you are now addressing, having stepped back from the daily running, but can see enormous problems and challenges ahead. And you are only in your mid-50s. So it is about lifelong learning.
Yep.
So Jack Ma, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All the best.